Hey guys, welcome back to EToH News. In this month, we'll be covering all of the game news and community news for April 2026. If you don't know how this works, game news will cover updates within the game such as new area releases, and community news will cover updates in the community such as new top towers. Last time, I said that March had the biggest updates of the year, but things got more agitated this time around, so let's begin with the first story of the month. On April 7th, Gameter announced that he has decided to step down as owner. The reason for this is mostly the motivation, and he simply doesn't feel the same spark he has felt for the past 6.5 years of being a developer. However, Gamma is not quitting EToH, as he will continue developing and scripting the game, but he will have a far less significant role. Besides this, Gamma mentions that he recently decided to stop building towers and gives an update on what will happen to the Obelisk of Hell since he was leading it. This announcement says that he and the staff agreed to let Tai now lead the Obelisk, with Gamma still being involved with its development but only as a scripter for the most part. Additionally, we are told that the Obelisk is being restarted and that the new version has yet to be developed, with more updates coming in the future. At the same time, Eternalis, the other EToH owner, said that he will not be appointing another person to the role of owner for the foreseeable future since granting one this power is an extreme responsibility. It is also said that Gamma stepping down will not impact the future of the game in terms of how it functions, and he'll be listening to the team in its entirety as always. This is easily one of the most impactful pieces of news we have this year, and a few select people in the community are worried about the future, mostly referring to Eternalis' controversial but ultimately scrapped idea of adding crates to call him out. Still, we cannot jump to conclusions this quickly, and we should patiently wait and see where EToH goes from here. That's about it for this story. Let's move on to the release of the Spring Event 2026. On April 5th, Part 1 of the Spring Event 2026 was released. As of now, there are 3 steeples available in Elysian Fields. You have Steeple of Grand Eggworks, Steeple of Scramble Wonderland, and Steeple of Extra Exciting Egg Exploration, with challenging and intense content releasing later on.
Yo, so a bit of an update on this is that on May 14th, Part 2 of the Spring Event was released, featuring a brand new tower, Tower of a Rabbit Hole, being intense difficulty, which means that the challenging one was actually cancelled, which is pretty sad to see honestly. Besides this, the event has been extended until June 1st, so yeah.
However, this event was released with some major issues. First of all, SOEEE was completely broken, having a ton of bugs, soft locks, and poor optimization, leading many to dislike this tower. 14 hours after the event's release, it received a bug fix and optimization update to fix the issue, allowing most people to actually enjoy it. And now that we mention optimization, there were many complaints about lag in this area, which is not a surprise because at this point lag is just impossible to fix, but it's still pretty sad to see since some players cannot enjoy this update. Besides these issues, most players seem to be enjoying this event, with most of the criticism only mentioning that the steeples are too long. In addition to the event, Easter cosmetics and an item were released in the shop. As for the item, the hay costs 399 Robux and is a replica of the 2019 Easter item, Grass, which is the second most powerful healing item. As for the cosmetics, there's Excited for Easter, Meadow Path, Egg Hunting, Extravaganza, Easter Bunny, Moai, Radiant Bloom, Full-Time Employee, and Wonderland's Angel. That's all I have for this one. Let's talk about the copyright whitelist and email form update. Two hours after the release of the Spring Event on April 5th, it was announced that the email form template and spreadsheet of whitelisted artists were now available. Starting with the email form, this is your average form of message. The only thing actually worth mentioning about this email form is the translations, because on April 6th, translations for this message were being looked for. So now, the email form has, and feel free to pause here because I won't be reading them, all of these languages you are seeing on screen, with Serbian, Hindi, and Italian being unfinished. Regarding the copyright whitelist, I recommend that you all check it out for yourselves to see which artists are allowed to be used and which ones are not, especially if you're a builder. But as a quick rundown, there are more than 170 individual artists and 7 various artists whitelisted, and 23 denied artists. all of which we are seeing right now. But as I said, I recommend checking this out in your free time. Both the email form and the whitelist will be down in the description. Besides that, a few updates happened with the release of the whitelist, as a new panel option opened up for whitelist requests to be serviced a little easier, aka letting the staff know the approval or denial of music permission from artists so they can update the whitelist. Another update was on April 15th, where an announcement regarding the obelisk of Void was posted. This message says that because of the copyright issue, the former music playlist for the project became mostly unusable, and due to the parts that had to go, the obelisk team decided to cut down on the amount of floors. If you included Act 5, an optional CC Plus act, the floor count set around 90, but now it's only around 60. However, this led to Eternales announcing that he will commission artists to have a large number of original songs for the most important moments of the obelisk, with there being a wide variety of themes and music genres. The latest update of this copyright situation was on April 21st, where an audio replacing card appeared in the EToH development Trello, with the description stating already known information, except for the fact that there's a form available in the Discord server, which I ironically didn't find anywhere, for tower creators with in-game towers to request their new soundtrack. So if you're a builder, the link for the form will be in the description. As for the progress so far, Purgatorio and Windswept Peak are the only fully completed areas. Ring 1 is the current focus, being 31% complete, and Forgotten Witch is next up once Ring 1 is finished. And that's the end of this one. Let's move on to the April Fool's Super Challenges. As you all may know, it was said that the April Fool's events were cancelled to make Easter events, with the hope of still being able to release cosmetics for the occasion. So on April 1st, not only was there a limited time shop filled with Joe cosmetics, but there were monthly challenges set for the occasion called the Super Challenges, which theoretically classify this as an April Fool's event, but that's besides the point. These joke challenges included don't play the game for 1 hour, enter every tower in the game, beat TOBB with Falling Blocks buffed, beat the new Catastrophic Tower in Ring 8, which is Tower of Elongated Ones but with the S on elongated, beat ToSF 100 times, beat 3 different tower rushes, and beat the new tower in Ring 1, where you beat an invisible version of Tower of True Skill. And even though these stupidly annoying and difficult challenges were set to end in only 24 hours, which later became 36 due to popular demand, people beat most if not all of these challenges, which is absolutely mind-blowing. But anyway, as I mentioned before, there were April Fool's cosmetics released as well, which Cammy will be showing off because I couldn't get them. You have Grass Block, these guys, Tun Zahora, Machine Love, My Sunshine, Please Speed I Need This, Pungba, and 6-7. Yo, let's move on to the minor updates of the month. For this story, we will start with the decently sized updates that were too small to get their own section. First of all, version 1.4 of EToH's music system was released on April 4th. This update includes a new UI, with the button now being in the bottom left, having the song and artist's name, and a spinning turntable when a song is playing, which goes still when muted. However, since many games besides EToH use this music system, they could revert it to the old button in the settings script found in the model itself, or replace the ID in the insert script with this one on screen, but you do need to get the new model first. As well as this, Gamma said that there will be settings in EToH to change when the text displays. These settings were released on April 27th, known as the Music UI mode. You have 2 modes available here. Always Display, where the song information is always present, and Show on Song Change, where only the turntable icon is shown until a new music zone is detected, showing the song information for 5 seconds. So yeah, pretty cool. Secondly, on April 27th, a batch of quality of life updates was released, which as a fun fact, were supposed to be released a day prior, but a bug made EToH completely inaccessible for around 20 minutes. Nonetheless, the first update was that the data for the April monthly challenges has been reset due to a rewrite of the challenge system, so you could have briefly done the challenges again for extra tickets. Secondly, towers with epilepsy and or photosensitivity visuals now show a pop-up warning when entering them. There's also a new visual setting called UI Scale, which allows you to customize the size of every menu in the game. Another addition is that when you attempt to equip a disabled item, it now displays a message telling you to enable it. The last thing was a fix to hopefully prevent decals from being invisible. And that's it for the decently sized updates. As for the minor updates, the lore in the Halloween event 2022 has been better suited to match the rest of the event story on April 6th. These changes are that E13's of awareness, origins, and a lot of text were removed and changed due to plan inconsistencies. The overall timeline has been restructured, with some events being shifted around others to make way for a better overarching storyline. The Halloween event 2022 is no longer about the creation of bosses, but rather the capturing and study of past bosses for newer man-made ones, and playing previous events will soon be able to give the full picture. The Windswept Peacock teleport in the Ring Select has had its hitbox expanded on April 19th, and the exterior lobby for the Ring 9 lobby revamp was completed on April 19th as well. But that's all we have for the game news. Now let's talk about the community news. Okay, so this story is less about EToH and more about the entire Obbies scene, and we have a positive update that happened in May, which we will cover here because it's important. On April 10th, Roblox updated the requirements for publishing games. In order to publish to users 16 plus and trusted friends, you will need to have an account in good standing, do an age check, and have an account that's been on the platform for at least 2 days. But to publish to all ages, it gets a lot more complicated. These requirements are the ones we said before, as well as being ID verified, having 2-step verification set up, and the two most controversial, having Roblox Plus, a $5 a month subscription service released on April 30th, and doing an extra evaluation check, which requires the game to have 516 plus highly engaged users. However, on May 11th, it was said that starting on May 19th, creators can now choose 3 options to publish games for Roblox Kids and Select, but the one we will focus on is the one-time refundable publishing fee of 1,000 Robux, or about $13 per game. This means that, for example, in a year you will have to pay $60 with Roblox Plus, but with this new option, that amount is around $13. And if you're eligible to publish for all ages and your game doesn't get moderated, you get that money back in 3 months. This is a massive improvement, but the 516 plus highly engaged users requirement still remains, which is atrocious for Obbies. The most popular are most likely safe since you just have to pay, but most of them don't have many players or aren't designed to be highly engaging, so many Obbies will be locked to users 16 plus and trusted friends, which means that if you're under 16, you will not be able to play anything unless it's in a game that meets every requirement, which are very few. So even though this is an improvement in the monetary aspect, it remains extremely demanding in terms of players. This system works like a charm to moderate games better and remove explicit games that don't belong to the platform, and it's obviously amazing that they're taking action on this issue, but everyone else is sadly affected by this. That's all we have for this topic. Let's move on to some more positive news, such as the new leaps and bounds achieved in April. In this month, there have been some incredible top 10 verifications and progress on some of the hardest upcoming towers, so I'll quickly go over them. First off, on April 6th, the player Creo verified the Obelisk of Unreal. Hold on, wait!
Hey guys, so I'm just coming back real quick just to say that Obelisk of Unrealistic Settings was finally verified on April 6th. This obelisk has been finished for almost 4 years now, and it started building in 2020, and I've been following along this obelisk closely, seeing the insurmountable progress made over the years by various different players. To see it just beaten, like, someone at the win pad, it's just absolutely insane. So I'm going to make a video on this obelisk for my main channel. It'll come out at some point in the summer since, you know, I'm still trying to study for exams right now. So get ready for that. Anyways, my fault there. You can get up now. Get back with the rest of the story. I'm gonna go now. See ya.
Yeah, real fucking sorry, man. Was that shit necessary to promote a bit that won't come out? Anyway, Obelisk of Unrealistic Sightings was estimated to be in the top 1 to top 5 range, but ended up at number 8 on the TTC list. And even with that, this is an insane accomplishment that should be applauded because it took 3.5 years to get verified, so big congratulations to Creo. Another verification was the Citadel of Eternal Infinite Void by Big Boy Chakalaka, also known as A6IQ1. This Citadel is a combination of Tower of Eternal Void and Citadel of Infinite Void. This means you have to beat a mid-high horrific and a bottom low unreal in a row. And on April 5th, A6 beat the Citadel in a single stream and in less than 5 hours, not including the pre-practice of both individual towers of course. This completion was projected to be around the top 3, with many players calling it a new top 1. However, it was said in the TTC Discord that this wouldn't be placed on the list because it's literally 2 towers mashed together. Nonetheless, huge congrats to Big Boy Chakalaka for this verification. Moving on to something else, Glissy Gladiator verified the predicted top 5, Tower of Weird Consensus, on April 7th. This was not only Glissy's first verification and a jump from the mid-horrific Tower of Weirdcore, but the reaction is also very beautiful.
I beat it! 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 I did it! I did it! I did it! It's over! It's over! It's over! It's over! It's over! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!
In the description of the video, Glizzy mentions that he has played and made notable progress on Tower of Wigglecore, saying that his verification is a genuine contender for being placed above it, but on April 21st, it was placed on number 7th. Regardless, this verification deserves much more recognition, especially because it doesn't even have 10,000 views. Every verification will be done in the description, so please go and support everyone mentioned. Yet another verification was by Monster is a Black, completing the Unnerfed Tower Spiraling Fates with only 2 attempts past floor 3. Black says the difficulty of the Unnerfed is still probably around low unreal, since there are only 3 notable buffs. He also says that the normal ToSF is around 13.25, the CCCD version is around 13.27, and the Unnerfed is probably 1330. So yeah, this is another impressive achievement to add to Black's resume. Big GG! This would mark the end of the verifications, but because we took so long to release this video, Black verified Tower of It Never Ends on May 6th, and as we all know, Big Boy Chakalaka was originally verifying this tower and was the person most people looked to finish it. After having multiple progress videos, such as failing floor 9 end, failing floor 10, and failing the last freaking jump, Black ended up completing it in almost complete secrecy on another account. This is an already incredible achievement on its own, of course, but I also consider it to be the biggest and worst snipe we've ever seen in Obbies. Because not only did A6 not receive the verification and success for this tower, but they didn't even become the new top 1. On May 9th, ToINE got placed on number 2, below Stone Reborn. So I truly feel bad for A6 and understand why this will be extremely stressful and demotivating to deal with. As of May 14th, A6 is constantly streaming and trying to conquer this tower once and for all, so go support him just as much as Black. Both players deserve to be recognized. Yo, so a bit of an update on this. A6 beat it on May 16th, oh my god, let's jump! Oh, he beat it, oh my god! Yo, go watch his video, go watch it right now, oh my god, he beat it, okay, bye! And that's all for the verifications, but there's also been some updates regarding Tower of the Drop towards human limits, with Black reaching floor 7 around March 10th. He also has runs of floor 2 to the start of 8, floor 3 to the end of 8, floor 6 to 9, floor 7 to the start of 10, floor 8 to the middle end of 10, floor 10 legitimately a few times, and floor 6 to win pad with only 3 fails. The latest update on this tower was on May 11th, where Black said that there will be daily streams for the tower once he rusts, so that will be very interesting. That's about it for this part. And before this next section starts, this part will cover serious topics such as transphobia, so if you don't want to see discussions regarding this topic, feel free to escape to this timestamp. Let's talk about Helena resigning from EToH. Something else I want to say before we begin is that please do not harass anyone mentioned in this section. Doing so will just cause more problems and won't achieve anything at all, so please don't do it. There has been another update to the Tower of Inception revamp, and unfortunately, it's not a positive one. On April 17th, Helena, formerly known as 1Friend6, creator of iconic towers such as TOCP, sadly left the EToH community. On a community post, she said that the TOI revamp is done for. She might still build eventually when she's bored, but she mostly wants to be forgotten in the toxic EToH community. She also mentions that it's not just annoying kids saying stupid stuff, but that builders, verified builders, moderators, and developers contribute to this. And it's to the point that she is tired of everyone and just wishes to remove her tower from the game and move on. On the same day, EToH made a post saying that Helena faced constant transphobia and harassment that was left unmoderated, to the point that she constantly burst into tears and that the best action for her in this scenario was to leave her presence in EToH entirely. And although Helena had a genuine interest in making the TOI revamp happen, the community wasn't really helpful in this regard. It was also asked if the revamp was going to be cancelled, with EToH clarifying that it has not been cancelled and will just take longer to come out. EToH also sent a message in Tower Development, saying that removal requests should not be denied outright, as it's a basic creator right that should be allowed at all times. He also says that forcing towers to stay in game is what starts toxicity, harassment, and witch hunting. The overall point of this message is that the community has become what it is mainly because of the game, but partly because of its staff, since they aren't letting creators remove their towers. It's truly a shame this has happened, not only because we lose an influential building figure, but also because the updates to the TOI revamp looked promising. At least it hasn't been cancelled, but the fact that it's getting delayed for a reason as unbelievable as this is just unacceptable. That's all for this section. Let's move on to something more positive now. The second EToH Tower Jam ended this month, and with it came the result for all the towers that won the contest. As a reminder, there were a total of 7 different prizes to be won, those being the best category prize for each of the 3 categories: Remix, Deception, and Limits. First place winners will receive 8,000 Robux, second place winners will receive 5,000 Robux, and third place winners will receive 3,500 Robux. And then, there were the best design, creativity, and gameplay prizes, with each of the builders who won either of these awards receiving 4,000 Robux. And finally, the best overall prize for the best tower submitted in the jam would win 8,000 Robux. Now, let's go over all the winners for the second EToH jam. Starting off, we have the best design, creativity, and gameplay awards. The winner of the best gameplay award was Tower of Electric Boogaloo by Hexel and Dast. The winner of the best creativity award was Tower of a Playtesting Disaster by iPros Mike, and the winner of the best design award was Tower of the Glass Looks Back by Tarek, Robin Isaiah, and Lennox Rex. Moving on to the prompt awards, now we have the best remix awards. These are towers that used a multitude of ideas to reimagine pre-existing concepts. Coming in at third place was Tower of Recollections and Serenity by Catherine K and Storm T. Next up in second place was once again Tower of Electric Boogaloo by Hexel and Dast. And finally, the first place winner of the best remix category was Tower of the Cosmic Transposition by Lion Dare. Moving on to the second prompt awards, we have Best Deception. These are towers that break their own rules, always give twists and turns, and do not give the player what they expect. The third place winner was actually given to 2 different towers since they both got the same score, that being Tower of No More What Ifs by Scarecrow, Diamond555, and Yeet, and Tower of My Darkest Moment by Mintos1980 and See Not Fireman. The second place winner was once again Tower of a Playtesting Disaster by iPros Mike, and the first place winner was once again Tower of the Glass Looks Back by Tarek, Robin Isaiah, and Lennox Rex. Now we are on the final prompt award, that being the best limits. In here, towers take away certain mechanics to force the builders to come up with unique ideas with very little to work with, or forcing the players to do things not originally seen in simplistic ways. The third place winner was Tower of Impair Beyond Repair by Salafi and Above All Sentinels. The second place winner was Tower of Read the Rules by Binary Glitch, Untrobla, and Maisie May. And the first place winner was Tower of Straining Constraints by Hyphen Greater Than. And now, the moment you've all been waiting for, the best overall tower in the second EToH Tower Jam is... Tower of Straining Constraints by Hyphen Greater Than. Huge congratulations to everyone who won an award in this year's EToH Tower Jam. And good job to everybody who submitted to the jam and made the effort to build something for it. If you want to see the detailed results for all the winners, there will be a spreadsheet in the description. Let's move on to the final story of the month, all of the new Top Towers community updates and changelog. There have been quite a few updates in the Top Towers community Discord this month, so before we go over the changelog, let's go over these. First of all, the server is now owned by Emmy, or Vampire in the Corner, as the previous owner, Cloverdoe, decided to step down on April 7th due to him not enjoying being active in the server anymore and wanted to do other things with his time. Secondly, the list rules were rewritten on April 10th to be a lot more simplified and easier to read, with the rules staying mostly the same except for Rule 9, the Trust Fix / Smooth Trusses. The rules now allow the usage of Trust Fix in towers, but only under specific circumstances. If there is no option to play without them, then your completion is valid, but if it's a toggleable option and you play with it enabled, then your run will not be valid. Thirdly, a website for TTC is currently in development, alongside helper applications happening, but those are not that interesting. Here are the new helpers. Anyway, it is said in the announcement that the website will include a leaderboard / stats viewer, submissions page, profiles, bounties, and more. With it, we got 2 screenshots of the website, showing a bunch of cool information. This website is being developed by 2 people who helped create the Point to Quit Demon List and the All-Rated Extreme Demon List, so this website will be very high quality. I'm excited to see it when it releases. And finally, list mod applications were done on April 25th. I don't really have much to say about them though, since they already finished and they still haven't released the results. Whatever. Now let's talk about the changelog. Tower of Splice Construct was verified in place number 35, Tower of Eternal Distress was verified in place number 37, Tower of Ring Rank was verified in place number 46 on the 60 FPS list, Tower of Sither Harmony was moved up from number 43 to 35, Steeple of Chacha Will Smooth was moved up from number 75 to 67, Tower of Chromatic Inclination was moved up from number 59 to 50, Tower of Where Are You Going was moved up from number 37 to 28, Tower of Jaded Compromise was verified
verified on placement number 3 on the 60 FPS list. Tower of Colossal Coastal Climbing was verified on placement number 30 on the controller list. Tower of Netherlands was verified on placement number 23 on the 60 FPS list. Tower of Course Constraints was removed from the mobile list due to being completely inaccessible. The Unnerfed Steeple of Gili Vasili also no longer exists. Tower of Tyrically Infuriating Calamity and Steeple of A Ton of Years come back onto the mobile list. Tower of Sleek Keels was verified on placement number 80 on the mobile list. Tower of Final Resolve was verified on placement number 40 on the mobile list. Obelisk of Whitelist Sightings was verified on placement number 8.
There's my goal!
Shut the fuck up!
Tower of Weird Consensus was verified in placement number 7. Tower of the Concluding Run's bounty has been increased from 25,000 to 30,000 Robux. Tower of Lightspeed Buttons was verified in placement number 27. Tower of Minor Hatred and Tower of Spiraling Fates help swap places, with Sambai now above at number 5. Tower of Gunga Ginga was verified in placement number 5 on the mobile list. And finally, even though this happened in May, Tower of It Never Ends was verified and placed at number 2. This marks the end of the community news. Now let's move to the outro. And that wraps up all of the news for April 2026. Sorry for this video coming out really late, y'all. Cammy was busy with exams and we were both working on our part for EToH Awards 2025, which you should go watch right now actually. Oh, and we also got monetized, yay! But yeah, that's it. Like and subscribe, go check out our channels, and have a good day. Goodbye.
Surplus.